dark ember remains nestled deep within the putrid flesh of my dead beast. With many of Highgate's tunnels now collapsed, we must forge another way inside. I have divined one weak point in the beast's flank, an ancient wound wrought by that Vaalish overreacher, Doriani. The wound was healed shut by a thick membrane, but the right decoction should dissolve the tissue and allow us inside. Of course, for a cordial of such potency, I shall require 2 ingredients of utmost rarity. First, our viscous concoction shall require basilisk acid, a princely poison which drips from the caustic heart of the basilisk, and Trathan powder, an explosive substance oft used in the mining of virtue gems. With these 2 bitter harvests, I shall brew something worthy of eroding the membrane of my decaying pet. Within the ruins of Highgate Refinery you shall find it. Trathan powder, a slightly more unstable blend to the kind found within the celebratory rockets and illuminations of Trathus. This devious mixture of crumbled chemistry was once used to blast holes through even the thickest mountainsides. It will ensure that our mixture has the brute force required, though one should tread carefully within the refinery, for General Adus and his elite legionnaires sought refuge there during the first moments of Malachi's cataclysm. If they remain, they will be creatures of darkest discipline, strong men in health and life, made even stronger in corruption and death. Farewell.
Scattered across the plains and mountains are small fortifications I believe to be Immortal Syndicate outposts. They have posted guards along their perimeters, so we must be cautious. Seek one out. I will meet you there, and together we will infiltrate it. Keep your eyes sharp.
You have offered us the greatest of gifts, freedom. With these divine tyrants gone, we are free to live our lives as we wish, not as is ordained. In time, all of Scion will thank you. For now, let it simply be me. There is nothing else.
I'd thank the gods, but you seem to be taking them out at an alarming rate. Not that I'm complaining. In my experience, theocracy's never been great for entrepreneurs like me. Unless you're in the Holy Relics business. That's too single-minded, too orderly. Give me chaos any old day, for it is in chaos that opportunity is bred. Scion can get back to its usual state of mayhem, and I can get back down to business. Everyone's a winner. A word of caution. That Unk. It might have had some miraculous powers, but I bet there's a nasty reason why Veruso hid the bloody thing away. I've tried to warn Clarissa, but her ears seem as dead as their boyfriend of hers. Well, they're forged from solid gold. I can tell you that much. But I suppose that's not really what you're asking about. The wings are a treasured piece of the Merakith heritage. Back when the
Yes? Exile. Be careful. What is it? Watch yourself.
Hello. Yes, hello.
to me quickly. Finally, Tolman. We can be together as before. All right. Let's begin. Suffering will besiege us, and yet love will prevail. Pain will imprison us, and yet love will prevail. Grief will engulf us, and yet love will prevail. Death will surely take us, and love will... No. This isn't right. This is... Oh, Tolman, please. Forgive... I've been so stupid. Russo didn't hide the Yunk out of shame. He hid it out of fear, out of... Oh my. What did the Yunk really do to his wife? Everything I saw, that I read, lies to cover the truth of what Kiara had really become. All right. I'll destroy the Yunk. We've come a long way since Russo's day, so I'm thinking I can manage where he so sorely failed. At least that's something I know I can do right. I'll meet you back at the encampment soon. For now, I need to... Look, I'll just see you there. I promise. Poor Tolman. He was never really with me, was he? Just the shell of a man I loved. Wherever he is now, I hope he is at peace and that he can forgive me for not being able to let go. Here, take something for at least helping me. And thank you for everything. Watch yourself.
greeting.
I was out hunting food for our encampment. Like a prowling cat I was, but what I saw, marching across the ruins, made me feel like a little mouse. Gem-studded warriors pounding the earth, led by their strongest, a captain. I've known of these Gemling legionnaires, how they were once the personal swords of Emperor Chittis, but now they rise again, with this captain at their fore. Swallowing my fear, I followed the captain and found a force being gathered within the grain gate. Exile, I know it's not fair for me to ask. You have done so many things for us. But if you were to find the captain and slay him and his men, I would honor you greatly. Our little town would not survive an onslaught such as the captain is likely to enact upon us. If I am a watchful owl, then you are the courageous hawk, swooping with sharpened talons to wrench the serpent from the child's neck. Clarissa will bear that wound for the rest of her life, but I'm glad you were there to save her from following poor Tolman into the dirt. Perhaps now that Clarissa has lost her love of death, she will finally be able to embrace life. Talakora, go with courage.
Yes? Watch yourself. You can gripe all you want, lover. We can't stay here. Not with all this blood.
Where do you expect us to go, Vanya? We have our whole lives here in Highgate.
I don't know. West, perhaps? The Ezomite lands. I don't care. Just somewhere that has unpoisoned water.
Oh, Beast Slayer. Oh, they don't know. I can see on your face you haven't heard.
It's Kira. She's gone mad.
Absolutely bonkers.
She's abducted a Yon.
Stolen off with her into the desert. And to make matters worse...
The whole of Highgate is in a state of disarray. There's beast blood in the water.
Usurpers are eyeing up the throne.
And the old gods have risen. If you want my advice, get out of Highgate.
Or save us.
While you still can.
You must have encountered men and women like us before.
Relic hunters.
Collectors of rare antiquities. Anyway, Vanya and I are the best in the business.
And we need your help locating a particularly rare item.
Sweet, I was working them into it.
It's an ancient sword belonging to the Maraketh goddess Garukan.
The Stormblade, some call it. A weapon carved from crystal, capable of capturing even the most powerful of storms within its rigid edge.
The goddess lost it somewhere in the eastern desert during her ancient battle against the necromancer Suresh and his undead horde.
According to our research.
Find the blade for us and we will make it worth your while.
We'd do this ourselves, but what with the political unrest in Highgate as of late?
We fear leaving, lest we find the gateways barred and ourselves without a home.
Please, Vanya, don't say it.
Say what? I told you so? Well, I never trusted Kira. Her need to control everything, no matter the cost, was never a trait I held much faith in.
Yes, but ambition is not the problem. I have ambition. Do you not...
Of course, I trust you, sweetie, but you're not about to go killing everything that moves in exchange for a bit of power now, are you?
Well, I'd trade dreams of power for dreams of you, my sweets, any day.
Oh, Pataris.
Irasha? Well, she's the best we've got. Strong, purposeful, an honorable warrior.
I think the description you're failing to provide, love, is stick in the mud.
Stick in the mud?
Yes, as stubborn and serious as they come.
You just don't like her because she treats you differently.
Irasha is a stuck-up elitist. She refuses to see me as a woman.
Oh, sweets. You're more woman to me than all of them put together. I'll let Vanya take this one.
Thank you, love. I trained in Ori.
As a witch. Imagine that.
I thought I was telling this story, Pataris.
Yes, sorry, sweets.
I learned all about the old gods. They were supposed to be our idols, beings of divinity that guided us through our mortal lives.
But they aren't like that at all, are they, love?
Hardly. The gods know better than we are, and nobody that is as bad as us should ever wield that much power.
As bad as us? Speak for yourself. I'm positively delightful.
Yes, you're so sweet they dipped you in a barrel of sugar as a babe. We know.
Until next time.
You must be the outsider, the beast killer. I am Irasha, and while our soft-hearted chieftainess has gone wandering, it falls to me to make sure this Akara doesn't suffer for it. I've heard the stories they tell of you, and I know better than to pluck the feathers from a sleeping rock. Yet, for the sake of my people, I ask that you keep your peace while among us. Our customs have too often been threatened. Your ways are not our ways. Let's keep it like that. Oyun is gone for but a few days, and already Tasuni sniffs at the throne like it's a bitch in heat, ruled by a man. You need only walk amongst the ruins of Scion to understand that folly. Well, his desires are but wants and lusts while Oyun still lives. One of my scouts saw Kira and her Dekara near the foothills. They had Oyun bound to the back of a rower like a hunter's prize, and the Sekema feather, our symbol of leadership, worn by her captor. Whether Kira works alone or in pack with her brother Tasuni, I know not. Yet I fear she means to sacrifice our Sekema to the vulture of the wastes. Garukan, please, this Akara has helped you in the past. Return our kindness. Free Oyun and return her safely to us. And if this quest is lost, remove the traitorous bitch Kira from this world and retrieve our feather. As long as we have that, the throne of Marraketh will remain safe. No matter where you come from or who you might be, we were all birthed by a mother. Our mothers protected us and gave us nourishment. It is our duty in life to honor that great task. Without a mother, none would tread this dirt today. The most important commandment in our people's tradition is this: honor the mother, honor the life. Though you showed a mighty bravery when you slew that horrendous beast, by the thoughtlessness of your actions, you have caused great trouble to fall upon our home. The water runs red with toxic, corrupted blood. Now our people must travel far to fill their flasks and feed their livestock. It's as if we're in the midst of a great drought, while the water mocks us from within our own village. Arrogant men always seek to control that which they should not, as if that dangling piece of meat between their legs is somehow meant to lead them to power and glory. Men don't have the mind for leadership. Without guidance, they destroy all they touch. Leave the trials of power to women. We, who know how to nurture, how to grow, how to protect. Two of a very few outsiders I've met with like assault. I'm not saying I think they should have as much sway in the Akara as they do, but the fact is, the people like them. Oyun liked them. And despite their clumsy attempts to adopt some of our traditions, I like them as well. My head is still reeling from what Kira has done to Oyun. That bitch looked at me day in and day out and proclaimed herself loyal unto death. She has shown her true face in the end. Once I thought the old gods were worthy of honor, and I can still see how one might think they are boons to be gained courting their favor. But if such favor comes at the price of Marraketh's lives, then I spit on the old gods, and Kira as well. May they all rot in the endless desert. I would offer prayers up to the goddess of the breeze as a child, and listen to her voice sing and whisper as she danced through my family's wind chimes. She was my favorite. But in light of recent time, I can only believe that some immortal madness has laid waste to her mind. Through treacherous deeds and blind love, the Gemlin Queen has taught us much. The body remains here, surrounded by flowers, a reminder to all of us that we ought to tread lightly when chasing desire. Who can say, after all, where the line is drawn between bold ambition and foolish pride? My Dakara and I have vowed to protect our people, and so we keep our eyes sharp and our blades even sharper. As such, I have plenty of weapons on hand. If you perhaps needed to replenish your arsenal, I'm sure we can come to some agreement.
What do you need?
Nightmares are but whispers now, yet like prophets, cowering within crevice and crack. They speak of old gods returned, and the reprisal of an exile to a beleaguered land. My sister Kira has grown obsessed with the vulture of the wastes, our goddess Garukan. Kira has taken Oyun and plans to sacrifice her, imagining she can reforge herself as a red Sakema, a warlord destined to unite the Marraketh under her bloody banner. My sister's betrayal is too great for forgiveness. Like a rabid dog wandering the mountain pass, she must be put down. I ask this of you, for you are familiar with such barbarism and will not feel the pangs of mercy that I would. On her person, I suspect you will find Oyun's royal mandate, the Sakema feather. If Kira truly wishes to take the throne, she would need such an item to be considered more than a simple usurper. Bring it to me for safekeeping. And please, return our Sakema Oyun to us if you can. If she still lives, that is. But don't risk your life for hers. For I know her mind. She would not want. Why ask me about her? That woman doesn't like me very much, and I can't say I'm particularly fond of her either. She seems to have gotten into her head somehow that I am the epitome of all evil, a selfish, blind villain. Nothing can be further from the truth, other than the blind part, of course. I suppose Irasha has good intentions. She truly wishes to see our tribe flourish. However, she is too caught up in ancient traditions to see that for us to truly flourish, we must transcend tradition. We must become progressors of the future, not attendants to dry, dusty history. In the twisting, shifting black smoke of my dreaming, I saw the beast, lying slain at your feet. I saw the rise of the old gods, the rigid, dusty remains, springing in sudden haste to life. I saw the growing of their power. As the corruption began to fade, I felt utter anguish, the madness of the beast's last rapid breath. Yet my sight, my power still remains. It would appear that I was permanently marked by its corruption, even as I was birthed from my mother's womb. While now, my mother is no longer around to protect me, and the beast lies rotting in the bowels of that wretched mountain. Yes, I know of that dark god perched atop your shoulder. His image comes forth in my mind's eye, and I hear the sound of his breath crackle against the coldness of our mountain air. He has a different energy to the other gods revealed in my dreams. Less hostile, more empathetic to the plight which humanity suffers. Should his brethren be left to roam free? It seems, Lord Sin, as if you are on our side. You shall be rewarded.